some time, even before the Lok Sabha elections, Prime Minister Modi has been warning voters, especially OBC, Dalit and tribals, that the Congress party plans to shave off significant chunks of the quota reserved for them and hand it to the Muslims because the Congress believes in prioritizing Muslim interests. The Congress party has always hit back at the BJP, accusing it of cooking up stories to villainize Muslims and consolidate its own Hindu base. You know the responses. But now the BJP has cited a CNN News 18 exclusive report to accuse the Congress of putting Muslims first, even in the grant of Sarkari public work contracts. Viewers, Harish Upadhyay, our bureau chief in Bengaluru, has accessed a draft bill prepared by the Karnataka government to reserve a proportion of government contracts awarded for public works for Muslim contractors. So basically, if, viewers, there are 10 projects to build 10 roads, 4% of those projects will be reserved for Muslims. Viewers, these are some of the facts. They will be introducing this 4% Muslim quota in government contracts very soon. The amendment to Karnataka Transparency in Public Procurement Act needs to be made. The amendment to insert Category 2B, allowing reservations for Muslims. Category 2B shall mean backward classes without the income criteria. So viewers, even rich Muslims who are backwards will get this quota. It makes a mockery, viewers, of social justice in that sense. Even the creamy layer will benefit. The amendment opens Muslim quota in contracts and tenders up to 1 crore. The draft legislation likely to be moved during ongoing budget session. And we are being told that the cabinet will clear it and introduce it in the next few days. The policy to hand out quotas to Muslim contractors in bids for public works has been taking shape over the last 1 year, viewers. August 24, 2024, Congress's Muslim MLAs and MLCs signed a petition for contract quota to economic, ally and socially backward Muslims. Petition for Muslim quota and contracts was spearheaded by Siddaramaia's political secretary Y. Nasir Ahmed. In August 31, 2024, just about a week later, last year, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah asked the file to be put up and signed on the request letter. October 2024, so about 3 months later, viewers, the note prepared by Finance Department to amend Section 6 of the Karnataka Transparency in Public Procurement Act is prepared. KTPP amendment note drafted to include Muslims under Category 2B for reservation in contracts. And now, viewers, after this period of time has elapsed, this is going to come up in their state assembly where the amendment will be moved. It will be passed because Congress has the numbers and this particular quota will be in place. The irony is that by pushing for this proposal, the Congress is going against its own great leaders who were dead against quotas on religious lines. Nehru and Patel were against them because they felt that such quotas would incentivize Hindus to convert to Islam and crucially perpetuate a sense of Muslim separatism. Dr. Ambedkar, the man who was the chairperson of the Constitution's drafting committee, was also opposed, saying that such a quota would make a mockery of the equality principle. In fact, viewers, here are the hard facts, and I always bring you the hard facts so you can get closer to the truth, viewers. This is Nehru's letter to chief ministers on reservation along religious lines. And this was written on June 27, 1961. If we go in for reservations on communal and caste basis, we swamp the bright and able people and remain second class or third rate. I am grieved to learn of how far this business of reservation has gone based on communal consideration. It has amazed me to learn that even promotions are based sometimes on communal and caste considerations. This way lies not folly but disaster. It was disastrous, viewers, in Nehru's views. Sardar Patel was dead against for exactly the same reason, viewers. He says, and he was the head of that advisory committee that shot this idea down in 1947. It was no longer appropriate in the context of free India and present conditions that there should be reservations of seats for Muslims, Christians, Sikhs or any religious minority. Viewers, he says, that it was felt that going ahead on this line would lead to a certain degree of separatism that was contrary to the conception of secular democratic state. Viewers, all of these, Ambedkar also, viewers, in the Constituent Assembly, 30th November 1948, we've completely thrown the wise counsel of all these great leaders out of the window, especially the Congress, prompting several questions. Has the Congress codified its stated Muslim-first approach to governance in law now? And does the proposed Karnataka Muslim quota law establish that Congress is legalizing anti-Hindu bias? Let's open this up. Let's ask specific questions tonight, viewers, because as you know, we always pose the sharpest questions on this show. And I want to begin with T.R. Prasad Gowda, leader of the Congress, and Abdul Razak Khan. So, Mr. Gowda, let me ask you, sir. Has the Congress party now decided to legalize anti-Hindu bias? Is that what is happening?
No, I am sorry to listen your words. We are not anti-Hindu. It is. I will not take up this kind of words. Congress party is a party of all the religions. The only party in India who take everybody along is Congress party, who belongs to all the community, whether he belongs to Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Parsi, whoever it is, Dalit, all the party. Our party is a believer of taking everybody along and keeping everybody's interest alive. Everybody should be equal. On that constitutional basis, our party is running. It is not anti-Hindu or anti. It is not that. Please do not float that kind of words to Congress party. Congress party is a party of generosity. It is a party of a common people.
Yes, generosity,
so
sir. That begins and ends with Muslims, because Dr. Manmohan Singh said it himself. He said that the rights to all India's resources go to Muslims first. Not right, sir? Am I wrong?
That is the community.
No, have I misquoted?
Please listen to me.
No, I'm asking you, have I misquoted the former Prime Minister of India? Did he not say this?
No,
that Muslims have a first right on India's resources. Did he not say this? What was the context?
Sir, what context he made? And now,
what is the context, Mr. Gowda? Tell me, what is the context? What is the context? You tell me.
During the beginning of your...
Mr. Gowda, you tell me what was the context?
Debate itself.
Manmohan Singh ji, when he made this comment, what was his context? Can you explain to me?
Sir, I am telling you whatever his comment may be, but I am telling you our Congress party stand for the country.
Sir, that was the Congress party stand. He was the Prime Minister of the alliance, the UP alliance. He was the leading light of the Congress party. He just passed away with full state honours.
Congress party is for everybody.
If it is for everybody, why did Dr. Manmohan Singh make that statement? I'm asking you, why did Dr. Manmohan Singh make that statement if it's for everybody? And why is it that the Congress party is now codifying that into law?
That was because of the Structure Committee
I am opposing
report.
your word.
After that,
the beginning of your debate itself, you said anti-Hindu. We are not for that.
Okay,
we are for everybody.
They are saying that. I'm only asking a question, sir. I'm not accusing anybody. It's for you to defend, the viewer to judge. So I only put out a question, because had this been the reverse, viewers, supposing the BJP come out with a formulation like this, saying that Hindus, 4% will get quota in the formulation of government contracts, how do you think the political establishment would have reacted,
Sir, they are already getting 43%.
Yes, one second.
Rahulji, they are already getting
I'll get
43%.
Surabhi Hodikere to respond. Surabhi, respond to both the gentlemen, Mr. Khan. Okay, Mr. Khan, I'll come to you, please. 30 seconds. I'll come to you. Ms. Hodikere, could you respond?
Rahul, I want to rephrase one of the famous quotes from George Orwell. He says that all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than the other. Rephrasing that in India, For the Congress party, everybody is equal, but some people are more equal than others. There is no question on who, which community they like to pander to. That was
Now
very.
you are comparing Muslims to animals, madam.
I knew you would
Madam, you
say
are
this.
comparing Muslims to animals. What is the phrase? How does it fit here?
Have some intellectual capability.
What is the logic? What is the comparison?
It is by George Orwell. I'm happy to send
What
you
is the
that book.
comparison? Animals and Muslims?
Arey, sir, please don't trivialize this debate.
अरे sir, animals को Muslims के साथ compare
She's not
करने के
comparing
लिए
animals.
कौन
She's
बैठे?
talking about George Orwell's book, for God's
Then what did
sake.
she say?
What did she say? The book is called Animal
Whatever
Farm.
it is, does that fit here?
No, listen,
Does that
I'm not
phrase
getting
fit
into
here,
all of
Rahul
this.
ji?
We cannot be extrapolating. What is your problem? What is it, Surbhi Hodigere? I didn't
Let her give
completely
some
hear
other
you. Please
example.
repeat what you said. Let me judge.
I mentioned a quote that was from the book Animal Farm by George Orwell, which is a classic novel. It says that some animals are more equal than others. It is a commentary on communism. It is a commentary on what we can understand today as vote bank politics. It is not referring to
Okay,
anything.
viewers, let me rephrase, since many people will get upset tonight because the BJP is using a phrase from George Orwell's book and they will think it's a surreal abuse. Let me say, let's just put it like that some people are more equal than others. Surbhi
Absolutely.
Hodigere, I'm sure you can live with that. Let's get on with this debate. Some people are more equal than others. Rajat Sethi also joins the broadcast. We thought we nearly lost him there. Yes. Go ahead, Surbhi Hodigere. Make your point.
Offended anybody, but the point, as you said, Rahul, was that yes, some people are more equal than the others in the eyes of the Congress party. And unfortunately, a Congress party government here, which is in power, caters to zero development, does not provide anything for anybody in this state, and yet has the audacity to come up with these sort of laws every now and then. Tell me, why is it that minorities equals Muslims? Have you given special reservation to contracts to other communities as well within the minority group? And on what basis are you providing this reservation? Is there any study to prove that there is backwardness amongst contractors within the Muslim community? What is the basis? Instead, what the Congress party does is that it constantly panders to the the minority Muslim community here, whether letting off culprits in the Mysore riots or by calling people brothers who have been accused in the cooker blast in Mangaluru. That is what we are very clearly seeing. So, Rahul, I asked the question back to the Congress leader. On what basis? He did not answer the question. On what basis, sir, have you determined that this reservation is required? Please tell the people of the state, a state that you have...
Mr. Razak, could you respond? Is every contractor bidding for a contract a backward person? In fact, viewers, this particular amendment removes that criteria completely. It opens it up for every Muslim, irrespective of their backwardness. Why, sir? And what about Sikhs? What about Christians?
Rahul, what is
What
the
about
problem with
Parsis?
the BJP? I fail to understand.
No, what do you mean?
fail to
You
understand
explain
what
to
is
me,
the problem
answer the
with the BJP
questions.
now.
I'm
If
asking you.
everything is
I'm
appeasement.
asking you. Mr. Khan, a simple, straightforward question. Do minorities only equal Muslims in the Congress viewpoint? What about Sikhs? What about Christians? There are none in the state of Karnataka. Let me tell you the numbers.
Karnataka government is already giving 43% of reservation for other backward classes.
Are
the
they
Dalits.
giving this particular
Now what you
quota?
are
Are they
asking
giving
is
this quota to
4%.
minorities or only Muslims?
Sir,
Isn't
this
it
is
only
not
Muslims?
for government jobs. This is not for education.
Okay.
This is not the reservation that we usually discuss.
It's not reservation.
This is only
It is
for
completely a
government
reservation, sir.
tenders.
What
Sir,
is wrong with
reservation
Mr.
for what?
Razak?
Reservation
It's
for
called a
government
quota.
tenders. And that too within 1 crore rupees.
So
for
what?
contracts
There could be
which are
hundreds
less
and
than 1
hundreds and
crore
hundreds and
rupees.
thousands of contracts
Who is
under
set
1
to
crore.
lose what?
Why should this
Why is there
principle
so
be
much
abused? Why should
why is the
religion be
BJP
the
cribbing?
criteria? Why should
Who will
religion be
lose
the
what?
criteria?
Rahul ji, by implementing
Why
this
should
bill,
religion be the criteria, sir?
If economically
Why should,
weaker
no, if
Muslims
religion should be the criteria, then
If
let me ask you.
economically
No, one
weaker
second, let's
Muslims
open it. Rajat Sethi,
get
let
a
me bring him in.
chance
One
to
second, one
develop
second, one
the-
second. Viewers, if religion is the criteria, and these are the kind of quotas we should get under religions, then why is it, viewers, in Kashmir, shouldn't Hindus be designated minorities and be given quotas? Why is it that in Northeast, Hindus, which are supposedly 1 or 2% in some states, not given quotas and designated minorities? Rajat Sethi, what's been happening? It's not as if the Congress has not been ruling these parts of the country for years and decades altogether.
No, I think it's just so shocking, Rahul, that they're just clutching onto the straws. This is the very last sort of bit of survival tactics that Congress seems to be deploying. I mean, there is absolutely no precedence. They've been trying to bring it in Telangana. Now we see in Karnataka as well. It's just a very scripted sort of a thing for them to latch on to one specific vote bank, nothing more than that. What is sad is all of these experiments are done only to showcase and to dog whistle. Ultimately, none of this sticks into the courts of law. You know that, we know that. You cannot stand this through the scrutiny of the top courts.
But dog
still,
whistle
they
against
would
whom?
go into dog whistle. That's all.
Mr. Sethi, dog whistle against whom? Are you saying Hindus? There is an attempt
Absolutely,
to
there is. So they
discriminate?
have actually agreed or sort of reached to a conclusion that there is one community only which is going to lock, stock, and barrel support them. They need not even venture out and sort of monkey balance at all. They have drawn a conclusion largely, and they have been repeating on the same script across South Indian states. Telangana, they tried doing that in Andhra Pradesh. They couldn't do that. They don't have a government there. Even in Tamil Nadu, let me tell you, they are going to bring a similar sort of a thing right around the election. This is sort of the last refuge that Congress party repeatedly tries to bring in.
Let me bring in Mr. Gowda and Mr. Razak. Mr. Razak and Mr. Gowda. Mr. Gowda, you go first. You said it's a party of every denomination. So how is it that Sikhs and Christians are not getting this quota, number one? Number two, most important point. Fundamentally, let me put this across to you, sir. How is it, if you're a party of all, catch-all party, how is it that you're in alliance with the DMK that says the Sanatan Dharma should be eradicated? Would you say that about any other community?
Sir, our basic, Rahulji, our party's basic principle runs on, our party's basic principle itself runs on equality. Equality with everybody, all sorts of people. We are trying to equalize.
Mr. Gowda,
all,
is it
all
not a
sorts
fact,
of,
is it
com-
not
all
a fact that the
community
Congress
people-
party is in
No,
alliance with the DMK? The DMK's second senior most leader, Udaynidhi Stalin,
let me
came out and
answer
said
your
that Sanatan
first
Dharma should be eradicated. Do you support this sentence? Should Sanatan Dharma be
First,
eradicated?
Let me answer your. First, let me give answer to your first question.
Sir,
Then
because
I'll
your
come to
answer is
DMK,
platitudinous.
Sanatan Dharma.
I am asking you now to get specific. Anyone can make a general motherhood statement saying that, no, we are so and so. Now I am pointing out examples, sir, where it shows that you have a bias
Sir,
against Hindus.
in
So let me
Congress,
ask you,
sir,
Mr. Gowda,
Mr.
explain. Do
Rahulji,
you support
Rahulji,
Udaynidhi
Rahulji.
Stalin's statement that Sanatan Dharma should be eradicated? Yes or no? Answer. If you are the big tent party.
See, sir, as it is, we are also Hindus. We born as Hindus, we will die as Hindus. And we love our culture.
I'm asking you to take a position. If you love your, love your faith, if you love your traditions, if you love your country, I'm asking you a simple question.
our
Do you support
tradition.
Udaynidhi
All
Stalin?
sorts of-
Do
See,
you
our
support
party-
Udaynidhi Stalin
Sir,
when
that
he
is-
said we want to
That is
eradicate
Stalin's
Sanatan Dharma
that
because
Stalin's
it is like...
personal view. That is, I'm telling you, that is not Congress party stand. That is Stalin's.
Who
That is
supports
Stalin's
Stalin? Who supports
personal
Stalin?
view.
Who's in alliance with Stalin?
So, of course, we are in alliance with everybody.
So
That
it's
doesn't
okay.
mean that
So
we
is
will
it
support
okay if
everybody,
they
each and
abuse? Is
everybody's
it okay if they
statement.
abuse Hindus? Is it okay, sir, if your leader Udit Raj? Let me talk about Udit Raj. Have you heard of
He
Udit
never-
Raj, sir?
Sir, he never
Have you heard of
abused
Udit Raj? He
Hindus.
supports
Will not
Aurangzeb. Do
allow
you support
anybody to
Aurangzeb?
abuse anybody.
Mr. Gowda, do you support
Rahulji,
Aurangzeb?
we never allow that. Our principle is that we never allow anybody to abuse anybody.
Okay.
That is our
Let me
basic
ask
principle.
you, do you support
That is our
Aurangzeb?
basic principle.
Do you support Aurangzeb?
Is he contesting the next election to support him?
Sir,
Do you support? Do you support Aurangzeb? Do you support Aurangzeb?
I'm not getting your.
I know it's difficult. It gets lost. When I'm asking hard, piercing questions, people don't get it. Surbi Hodigere wants to come in. Surbi Hodigere, respond. You're making a mountain out of a molehill.
There
They're
is
saying. You're being Islamophobic, says Mr. Razak.
Mr. Razak can have all sorts of opinions, but the point here is that the Congress government here in Karnataka has been duplicitous in all of its approach, in all of its policy decisions. Whether it is the SE subplan, ST subplan, which is being misused, which is not being used for the rightful cause. Sidramaiah, who calls himself a Hinda leader, has only concern for one community, not for the backward communities here in Karnataka. Now, this Muslim reservation issue, as Rajat Sethi very rightly pointed out, is something that will never stand the test of law. It is anti-constitution. It is not something that's going to be pushed forth at all. However, there is a need here for every 6 months to pander to a particular community that they've decided they can't live without. Whether the DCM comes out and says that he's born a Hindu, he'll die a Hindu, or whether Mr. Prasad says the same thing on national television, the truth of the matter is that Congress, especially in Karnataka, a government that does zero development, is very, very keen on ensuring that their Muslim vote bank is strong for the years to come. Hence, these sort of decisions
I strongly oppose Mr. Rahul.
Yeah.
BJP's, what she's telling.
No, how? Is it a lie? Doesn't Supreme Court, hasn't Supreme Court struck down religion-based quotas? Yes or no, Mr. Gowda?
Sir, but it is being provided in Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh,
it is our
Assam,
basic
Telangana,
duty
Andhra
of a
Pradesh,
government to look
Rajasthan.
after all the communities in a normal way, and in a equality should be given to all the communities. We are working on that.
Surbi Odhikere.
We are
Quick
working
response.
on that.
Exactly that.
Not
Are there no
abusing-
other
not
minorities,
any
Prasad
single-
sir? Are there no
any
other
single
minorities?
community.
The Jain contractors not have the same right to reservation then?
We are for everybody. I am keep telling
not have
from
the
the day
same
one.
right
We are for
Rajat
everybody, not
Sethi
for
wants to
anyone.
come in. Rajat Sethi, how do you respond to Mr.
Minority
Gowda? We are a
groups,
catch-all party. He keeps saying we are a catch-all party. These are these motherhood statements. But let me tell you, viewers, Place of Worship Act, 1991. Clear betrayal of everyone who is a non-Muslim in this country. Rajat Sethi, go ahead. Waqf Act.
See, you can absolutely, Rahul, you can go on and on. There are enough regulations which have pandered exclusively to one community, because the formulation that Congress sort of sustained all these decades into power has been the loyalty of one community. Now that loyalty is being called into question because this Muslim community has also understood that Congress does this repeatedly, and they have deliberately kept them and cornered them in the path to development, never allowed them to go and join the mainstream. Now, these are sort of the last ditch attempts for them to polarize them right before the elections, or, do that build-up exercise just so that you can win that. And they very well know that if it is consolidated, doesn't get split into JDS votes and the Congress votes, they stand a chance. It's cheap politics at the hilt. And this is what Congress wants to hogwash it. It cannot be hogwash, sir. You've repeated this sin so many times. How many times will you clean up your sin, sir? You cannot clean it, sir.
Uttar Pradesh, Assam,
Again, on
Rajasthan,
Gujarat
Tamil
question,
Nadu.
look at Supreme Court's judgment on the
What about
Gujarat.
BJP? Is that appeasement then?
Mr. Razak, please have some sense. Don't you even read before you come to this particular debate? Let me set this right, viewers. The context is the following. And this is why what the Karnataka government is doing could be legally fraught. The quotas that Mr. Razak Khan is talking about in Gujarat, etc., are based on backwardness. This particular, viewers, this particular quota, from what our correspondent is telling us, is not based on backwardness. It is based on religion.
But it is set aside for minorities.
One second,
Sir,
please
economically
make a
weaker
distinction,
Muslims.
Mr. Razak. Have some sense, please. आप थोड़ा तो पढ़ के आइए. I'll send you the citation of the Supreme Court. One second,
How
viewers.
do you come to the conclusion then when other states can do it is not appeasement? But here in
Mr.
Karnataka, if we do
Mr.
it, it is
Razak,
appeasement.
do you
How
not
do we
even
come to a-
understand basic law? I don't think you understand it. There is a criteria. Backward castes must be reserved. You can have reservations for backward castes cutting across religions, as long as those people are identified as backward castes. But in this case, the amendment will be moved to... One minute, sir, please. Mr. Razak, please. Mr. Razak, please don't just push a point because you want to make a point. Please base it on some sense. Please base it on some sense.
It's a small trivial issue.
Okay, viewers, it's
How
not a
many
trivial issue.
contractors
This is a
operate? How many
massive
Muslims?
issue,
What is
viewers.
4%?
Don't allow these
It
people
is
to
not the financial
trivialize
value.
this issue.
It is
This is
for
not
the
a trivial issue.
contract.
This is a matter of principle. This is a slippery slope,
It's a very
viewers,
small issue,
towards
sir.
disenfranchising a large number of communities in this country by pushing the interests of one community. This is about pitting one set of Indians against another set of Indians on the basis of their religion, the original fault line in most societies. This is a very dangerous trend. It has led to the partition of this country. This is a two-nation mindset. This is separatism, viewers. through the legal door. And this is very serious. This is what the Congress is doing. I leave it at this, viewers, for you to judge and for the Congress to respond.